Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 18, text number 19. Prakalpya vatsam kapilam siddhaha sankalpanamayim siddhim nabasi vidyam cha ye cha vidyadharadhayaha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After this, the inhabitants of Siddhaloka as well as the inhabitants of Vidyadhara Loka transformed the great sage Kapila into a calf and making the whole sky into a pot. They milked out specific yogic mystic powers, beginning with Anima. Indeed, the inhabitants of Vidyadhara Loka acquired the art of flying in the sky. Purport. The inhabitants of both Siddhaloka and Vidyadhara Loka are naturally endowed with mystic powers by which they can not only fly in outer space without a vehicle, but can also fly from one planet to another simply by exerting their will. Just as fish can swim within water, the residents of Vidyadhara Loka can swim in the ocean of air. As far as the inhabitants of Siddhaloka are concerned, they are endowed with all mystic powers. The yogis in this planet practice the eightfold yogic mysticism, namely Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. By regularly practicing the yogic process one after another, the yogis attain various perfections. They can become smaller than the smallest, heavier than the heaviest, etc. They can even manufacture a planet, get whatever they like, and control whatever man they want. All the residents of Siddhaloka are naturally endowed with these mystic powers. It is certainly a very wonderful thing if we see a person on this planet flying in the sky without a vehicle. But in Vidyadhara Loka, such flying is a commonplace as the birds fly in the sky. Similarly, in Siddhaloka, all the inhabitants are great yogis, perfect in mystic powers. The name of Kapila Muni is significant in this verse because he was the expounder of the Sankhya philosophical system, and his father Kardama Muni was a great yogi and mystic power. Indeed, Kardama Muni prepared a great airplane which was as large as a small town and had various gardens, palatial buildings, servants and maidservants. With all this paraphernalia, Kapiladeva's mother Devhuti and his father Kardama Muni travelled all over the universe and visited different planets. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So thus we see here in this episode of the appearance of Prithu Maharaj on the planet, who was a Shakti Avesha Avatara of Vishnu. And to protect the residents, protect and provide for residents of not only earth. Now we see here that the whole Brahmanda was in a problem. Not only earth. Because we are seeing that here in this episode, they're talking about the benefits to residents of Siddhaloka. Siddhaloka is topmost in this 14 planetary systems. So we're not talking about Prithu Maharaj being emperor of the earth only. Just like we may say, a small king of the kingdom. Then next we can say emperor. He is the king of all the kings on earth. Then you can come to a position like Prithu Maharaj, who is the ruler of all the planets. Huh? So, when he appeared, it is the Supreme Lord. Every living entity needs protection as well as maintenance, protection and supply. Is it not? Fulfill their desires. That is in the material world, that is what the super soul is doing, the all-pervading Lord who is within and without everyone. He is seated in the heart and without, merely by his will, Upadrishta, Anumanta, whether it is a body of human being on earth or on Siddhaloka, all the bodies are energized by the Supreme Lord. So whether it is Siddhaloka or earth, you can see that everybody is free to enjoy their own earned karma. In Siddhaloka, the living entities, by performing severe yoga, austere, severe yoga, starting with yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. By this, automatically, the Lord in the heart, as per even the laws of karma, he releases power to these living entities. It's all temporary. Whether Siddhaloka or anywhere else, you can enjoy those mystic powers till you exhaust your benefit, because it has nothing to do with Krishna Bhakti. Just like in the material, in this gross, in this earth, we are seeing so many different kinds of things are there to enjoy. And people are enjoying, and they consider it very normal. But they have to die. Then according to their karma, again, they take another body. Lifespan is, many lifespan you have here. Within one lifespan of somebody in Siddhaloka. Siddhaloka annihilates only when the entire Brahmanda is dissolved. That is the only difference. This time scale is very illusory and relative. Our time is not anything absolute, it is an experience. Another scale is experienced by the demigods. Another scale by the Siddhaloka, in the Siddhaloka. So, the material energy of the Lord itself, it is Lord's energy. Because there is only one thing that exists in total of existence. The Lord and His energies. The Lord and His personal and impersonal energies. Shaktiman and Shakti. And all the living entities in this material world are bewildered by wanting to enjoy the Shaktis. That is why everybody in this world is after power. And they work for power. And power comes according to your punya, according to the work that you do. Not the work as we think. Karma work is described in Karma Khanda. What kind of work you should do, what kind of work human beings should do to get the blessings from demigods, what kind of work demigod should do to get the blessings from higher entities like Siddhaloka or from the Supreme Lord himself. So it is a big network. That is why Krishna described this material world like an inverted banyan tree. So many branches, so many leaves. Inverted means it's perverted. You see inversion of a tree means it's a reflection. It's not the real tree. It's a reflection of a real tree. Everything here is a symbol. In a reflection, what is it? And what do you gain by reflection? What you gain? Knowledge. You know about tree, leaves, branches. You know. You come to know from the reflection, even though you're not seeing the real tree. So this is so complicated. The path of karma, the path of yoga, the path of jnana. It's a huge, unbelievable maze that the jiva just cannot come out of it. Varieties, 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 varieties. Is it not? Our mind is tiny. Even small varieties can fix your mind. What to speak of knowing about Siddhaloka, there you can fly, here in the other loka, just like, flying in the ocean. Everything that Prabhupada described is very natural there. It is not that these are all imagination, these are all fact. What modern science has found out nothing. The knowledge of gross material energy is a perfection of gross materialists, material scientists, who are all thinking they are the body, who are all thinking that reality means gross matter. That itself is a trap. Tamasic perception. And they have gone deep into it, they have studied so many things, they have discovered at the tamasic plane of existence, so many laws are there. And those laws they have discovered. And there is so-called perfection within the gross, like technology, lights and this and that and flights and all. Anything you see, it is to do with gross material energy. Whereas the material energy is gross and subtle. There is a subtle material energy. Manas, buddhi, ahankara. And there are laws that connect the subtle material energy and the gross material energy. Just like you see, if you know that connection, Prabhupada is saying, they can fly from one planet to another planet by exerting their will. Right? Where is the will? Will operates in the subtle body. Thinking, feeling, willing is operating in the subtle body. Of course, it is all the power of attorney given by the soul. Subtle body or gross body cannot think, feel, will. But it has been empowered, no question asked. So, therefore we think, I am the body, I am the mind. What my mind says is what I say. What my body says is what I say. What my mind desires is what I desire. Ulta. A self-realized soul, what his soul thinks, the mind thinks. What he feels, what the soul feels, the yantra feels. What the soul thinking, feeling, willing, origin is soul, because he is awakened. And he follows the subtle body follows. Thinking, feeling, doing. Thinking, desiring, thinking, feeling, willing, doing. You cover most of these things. One more you can add. Because first we identify with the ego. Either I am the body, or I am an intelligent man, or I am this, something you identify. I am. I am the enjoyer is a very common. I am the body, I am the enjoyer. I am the center of the enjoyer. So in pursuance of that, I am the center of the enjoyer, then desires, appropriate desires come. Desiring, thinking, feeling, willing, doing, and rasaing. Rasaing means enjoying. They should introduce this word in the English dictionary. Every living entity is rasaing. Satrasa, Chitrasa, Anandarasa, all perverted, of course. Because his innermost Atma's instinct is Satchitananda. Because his attitude of getting that Satchit Ananda hunger satisfied by himself instead of associating with Krishna in devotional service means giving pleasure to Krishna. Having deviated from that, we are given this, come to this material world. Experience only you want, no. Okay, you earn the experience. But the experience is given. Just like you can have real life experience, or you can have an experience in watching a movie. Experience is same. Rasaing is, you got rasa. All feelings you got from the movie. Real life also same, you get feelings. Positive, negative feelings. You have a story. Real life also there is a story. In the movie also there is a story. So a self-realized person means his soul is awakened. That means now also the soul only is thinking, feeling, willing, desiring everything. Matter has no personal qualities, gross matter or subtle matter. But we are following the yantras, desiring, thinking, feeling, willing. We are following the yantras, egoing. What does egoing mean? Every one of us each and every one of us means a soul. As I told you, either it is in an identified, he identifies with the yantras, thinking, feeling, willing. Or if he is awakened, then he doesn't identify with the thinking, feeling, willing of the yantra. His real thinking, feeling, willing will make the yantra think, feel and will and serve him. That is the difference between a liberated person in this body and an unliberated, conditioned. We are all conditioned. And the top conditioning is, starting of conditioning is what? Egoing. Egoing means being. I want to be independent of Krishna. I want to be an enjoyer. being, role playing. Everybody is role playing. I want to be a man, I want to be a woman, I want to be a businessman, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer. Like this 100 role plays we do every day. I want to be a father, I want to be a sister, I want to be a brother, I want to be a son. Being. And what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says? Now you tell, I want to be a devotee. At least start with the yantra. Teach the yantra to be a devotee. I am servant of Krishna. In other words, in this world you become a good Vaishnava. And that has got the power to wake up my soul, who is a true Vaishnava. Gradually, step by step, by association with Krishna. Our chittam. Our chittam is what? Chittam means the whole subtle body. Our chittam is what is acting now. Soul is identifying with the screen of the chittam. One time, you start from morning to evening. Big egoing is there, I am independent. After that, subordinate egoing is there. When you talk to your father, you're egoing as father. Egoing and rasaing as father. When you talk to your mother, you're egoing, rasaing as mother. When you talk to your kids, egoing and rasaing as your father or mother. When you go and sit in your office, you are egoing as a boss. Or if it is your own company, you are egoing as owner. You just see, continuously we have got the capacity to do the egoing. It is in our control. In the human form of life, it is in our control. Therefore, stop all this egoing and fundamentally ego as I am servant of Krishna. Because this is the soul's constitutional function. When we engage our gross body and subtle body in egoing as a servant of Krishna, then automatically gross body and subtle body will desire, think, feel, will, do everything as servant of Krishna. The very fact servant of Krishna means what? End enjoyer of your service is who? Krishna. So egoing as a servant of Krishna, thinking as servant of Krishna, desiring accordingly, just like we desire to please Guru and Krishna. You ego as I am a disciple of Prabhupada. Very good egoing. It's a relationship with Prabhupada. I'm a disciple of Prabhupada. And let's say you want to ego. I want to be a strict disciple of Prabhupada. It makes difference or not? I want to be a loose disciple of Prabhupada. Something I'll follow, something I don't follow. But you have to develop a good, strong ego as a servant of Prabhupada. I will not do this, I will do this. So if you develop a very strong ego, I am disciple of Prabhupada. It is not for showing to the world. It is between you and Prabhupada. Prabhupada, I want to be a pure disciple of yours. I want to be a strong disciple of yours. Please help me. I want to be an obedient disciple of yours. And once you have that, just see, you define your egoing. Next, what happens? Automatically, desiring will be aligned to that. To fulfill those desires, your thinking, feeling, willing will be aligned. After thinking, feeling and willing, your gross doing also will be aligned. And because you are acting as a servant of Krishna, the Lord in the heart is pleased. There is rasaying, bhakti rasaying. And that is eternal rasa. It's not fake. All other rasas are fake. So, as coming to egoing, coming for a spiritualist, he has to learn to observe at different times what I am egoing as in service of Krishna. Different egoing produces different personas. There's a word in English called persona. Very nice. In one conversation, Prabhupada also says, my eternal persona is I'm eternal servant of Krishna. He says persona is always there. That means what am I role playing? I am a father is a persona. I am a disciple of Prabhupada is a persona. Where is this persona sitting? When you cultivate and culture, first you didn't become a disciple of Prabhupada. Slowly you became a disciple of Prabhupada. So where is this persona, I am a disciple of Prabhupada, sitting? In the chittam, there's a birth, there's subconscious mind. It records. Two people were never married. Then they got married. They never knew each other. Egoing began. I am husband, I am wife. I am his wife, I am your husband. Before that was not there in Chittam. You are a brahmachari, you are not yet married. You get into grihastha. Then you are egoing, new egoing. That is developing. Where is that sitting? In the Chittam. It's a beautiful arrangement. That is why prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Our self-created personas in our yantra is at the top of all the doing. And the soul's doing is to identify with this persona. So that is the, as far as how a materialist, for him, gross body is the truth. He can't even start unless he goes little into Sattva-guna. He cannot see these realities. That there is a persona who is thinking like this, feeling like this, willing like this. A karmi persona has changed into a devotee persona in all of us. If I ask you, do you want to become a karmi? What you will say? No. Arey, you were a karmi before. Now you don't want to be. See, be. You stopped being a karmi. I don't want to ego as a karmi. I will not do any more egoing as a karmi. I will be egoing only as servant of Krishna. So this understanding has got, this subtle understanding, that means identifying that our chittam consists of mind, intelligence and ego. And as far as each ego is concerned, it has a slice of intelligence, just like father ego. In your chittam, there's a father slice of mind, emotional body. There's a father intelligence. With that intelligence only he relates with the son or children. And there is a ego slice. Ego slice is I am the father. So each of our persona means there is a ego, there is a intelligence, a rational. Personas are also rational. Whether that rationality is perfect or not doesn't matter. There is a rationalization by everybody because everybody has got intelligence, every persona. And then there is a emotional, mind, slice. That is why you don't have to put any effort. You see your son, immediately father persona is loaded in your mind. You are very naturally acting. And then it is further. What you do now as a father persona, you'll again go and it's a learning system. See how AI has developed learning systems. It's all copy of how our subtle body works. As I told you, how their learning system, two people were never married. After their marriage, they learn each other by interaction. It takes time, right? And then they assess each other. The soul is not doing all these things. Soul is not doing all these things. All the phenomena, all the processes are happening. Every process in this material world is happening in the yantra, in the prakriti. The soul, according to his level of awakening, he may be involved in deciding. If he is not awakened, mind will decide for you and you will decide. And it's a decision. That decision has another consequence. This has another consequence. Like this, we get into the chakra, into this cycle of karma. So in our life, if we are egoing, okay, coming to this subject of fear. So, the finer aspects of how the subtle body relates with the gross body. Little we know, I want to lift my hand, I can lift. I want to fly like Vidyadharas, cannot. Why? I have not got enough of those siddhi that the Vidyadhara's subtle body has acquired. I also desire like him, he also desires. The bird desires, bird is able to fly. So this subtle We do not know. Basically, all that thing that we read in this purport, you have to understand that these are all very much possible. It's so nicely Prabhupada has explained. By yogic powers by which we not only can fly in outer space without a vehicle, but also fly from one planet to another planet. Then, just as a fish can swim within water, the residents of Vidyadhara Loka can swim in the ocean of air. What a nice analogy, no? Fish is swimming in water. Vidyadharas are swimming in the ocean of air. Huh? Fish has a particular, fish also there is a soul. Vidyadhara also there is a soul. But he has a particular type of a body which facilitates to swim in the water. Vidyadharas have a particular type of a body. They can swim in the ocean of air. How much do we know? What modern science knows? Nothing. Total neophyte. Total neophyte. If science is about the material world, the modern science is a neophyte. Super neophyte. But what does the world think? Oh, we know so many things. It's child playing with God's creation. The scientists are like childs playing with God's creation. And Krishna is watching. Chalo, chalo, play. Make atom bombs. Make nuclear energy. Create technology. Light is there. Communication is there. Play. You work hard. My devotees will use them all in my service. Hitting two birds with one stone. By his sanctioning of this modern science and technology, because he is seated in their heart and giving them intelligence to discover the relative truth of material energy. Without his sanction, the technology cannot come. All this expansion cannot come. You should not think that, oh, there is, human jivas are so powerful, they are creating. They cannot create anything. Lord allows. At a macro level, he is in control. So these are not imaginations. These are all there. All over the scriptures are there. Siddhis, Anima Siddhi, Lagima Siddhi, Ishta Siddhi, Ishita Siddhi. You can become smaller than the smallest. At least mind can visualize, it's possible. Slowly, little, I'll become like a Lilliput. Then I become small. You will disappear. And there is suppose you put me in a box. Right? So there is an interatomic space. In my Anima Siddhi, I'll go so small that between the space between the atoms, I'll come out. Anima Siddhi, you can become smaller than the smallest. Can become bigger and bigger, heavier if you want, you can become. These are all in so many leelas, so many, even we can see this these powers are there in demons also. See, these are all not, mystic power is nothing to do with divinity. Please understand, that is what in Krishna consciousness we learn. Nothing to do with divinity. Bhakti has nothing to do with divinity. Why all these things are described? Because it is described so that you disconnect it from devotion. Demons are having this, so it has nothing to do with pleasing Krishna. It's all nature of the material world. We don't get bewildered by these mystic powers. We don't get excited by these mystic powers. A devotee wants only one thing, they want to love Krishna. The Supreme Lord, He responds to Jiva only for love. When you offer love to Him, then He responds. Everything else that you do, His energy will respond. So all the living entities in the material world, the material energy is responding to their desires, their egoing, everything responding. Krishna is far away. The absolute truth is person plus energies. We are also energy. Marginal energy of Krishna. Materially also, this is also an energy. So we should stop dabbling with, that is called karma and jnana mishra bhakti. Dabbling with material energy for anything. Directly surrender to Krishna. Do what is pleasing to Him. Develop a strong ego, I am a servant of Krishna. Develop a strong ego, I will not serve Maya, I am not a servant of Maya. Fortunately, by Prabhupada's blessings, I have got the intelligence to at least know this is service to Maya, this is Maya service, this is Krishna service. Right? That is what we gain from the Guru. Guru gives us the spiritual discipline gives us the process of the right path. He shows us the right path. Path is about intelligence. Path means what? Which way I should go. Which way I should go. That is called intelligence. Intelligence means knowledge in the form of direction. Directional knowledge is called intelligence. What is the difference between knowledge and intelligence? Both sound similar. Right? Just now I said, what is the difference? Directional knowledge is called intelligence. Processed knowledge towards a particular goal is called intelligence. Just like science and technology. Technology is about direction, intelligence. Science is about truth. Science is about what is atom, what is this molecule, what is everything. So by hearing all these things, so many siddhis, legima siddhi, that siddhi, this siddhi, how Putana, demon, became a beautiful young mother. Anything to do with Krishna? It is to do with this material energy. Therefore, devotees never get bewildered by this. They know all this is possible. Krishna's wish is there, anything is possible. I can fly, I can appear somewhere, disappear somewhere, all that. Everything is possible. But I don't want to be distracted by, I don't want my mind to be distracted, means excited by any of these things. I want one thing, Krishna's love. I want to serve Him. I want to please Him. I want to please Him. This is the focus. This is what the bhakta, a devotee. And that is what in sadhana bhakti we are practicing. We are practicing to put our chittam in the mode of egoing, thinking, feeling, willing, doing, rasaing, only as per the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. I don't want any rasa which is independent of, just like I don't want bhoga rasa, eating bhoga rasa. That's rasaing. Prasadam rasaing. This side, prasadam rasaing. Illicit relationship with woman, that rasaing, no. I like Krishna conscious relationship with woman or a man. Don't lose Krishna in sight. Everything is for pleasure of Krishna. Every relationship can be dovetailed in for pleasure of Krishna. So, Hari Sambandha Vastuna. We should see the Sambandha of every Vastu, every object, every person, every activity, every situation in the light of Hari Sambandha. And we engage in activity to engage the energy in service of Krishna. Principle is this. In the material world, everybody, just like Narayana and Lakshmi is there. Lakshmi is Narayana's energy. Everybody is lost in the energy. They want to enjoy the energy. Just like Ravana wanted to enjoy Sita. So naturally you cannot touch Sita in the spiritual world. So duplicate Sitas are there in this world. And you can act as duplicate Rama. That is what we are egoing in this world, as duplicate Krishna, duplicate Sita, all drama. Only Purusha is Krishna. Everybody is Prakriti. Whether in the male body or a female body or Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha, the definition of Purusha is not man and woman. Purusha means the center of enjoyment, the enjoyer. Prakriti is the enjoyed. Enjoyer is enjoying something. What is that? That is called enjoyed. So Jiva is enjoyed. When you tell somebody Krishna consciousness is about not enjoying, but about being enjoyed, suddenly you become envious. Oh, God will enjoy. I am enjoyed. Because in the material world, enjoyed and enjoyer relationship is of exploitation. Selfishness. But in the spiritual world, Prabhupada explains, very often, the level of enjoyment of the enjoyed is sometimes even more than the Lord, the enjoyer. But the enjoyed does not think I am submitting to the Lord to enjoy myself. No, I am submitting to, then that is not bhakti. I am submitting to the Lord for Him to enjoy. That means he doesn't seek enjoyment. In the spiritual world, enjoyment is prasadam, is pushed upon you. It's a gift from Krishna. You don't earn. We are also Ananda beings. Our Swarupa is Satchid Ananda. But that Ananda in the spiritual world is always received and not gone after. In the material world, we go after the rasa The lauding is there. In the spiritual world, serving is there. And enjoying is there, enjoyment is there because he gives the enjoyment. So anyway, the essence of all these kind of descriptions here is for us to know how variegated this material world is and what all is possible in this material world. If even the material scientists understand the subtle elements, and subtle element cannot be understood by the same system. Right now, what does science think? Thinking, feeling, willing is an effect of chemicals. They don't know that there is a separate energy. There may be one-to-one correspondence in the brain with the chemicals. Happiness chemical, this happiness chemicals, depression chemical, there may be one-to-one relationship. But that is not the cause. Oh, chemical is the cause of thinking, feeling, willing. It's like ulta. If a car is going on the road, the real thing is engine is turning the wheel. If you see only cause and effect, you don't see the engine, only see the tire and the road. You can make a theory. Road is turning the wheel. Road is turning the wheel. Is it not? Huh? In that way, stupid fellows, they say, your thinking, your feeling is because of this chemical. Because you felt, therefore this chemical was triggered. Not that chemical has triggered. Everything begins from subtle to gross. Every causation begins from subtle to cause, to gross. There are subtle causes, subtle body causes, and then subtle. Just like your body will not act to do something unless the subtle body has already worked on it. If you don't have any desire for something, then you will not function. Gross body will not take it up. Simple. So self-control, we are only interested to know about Chittam, all these things, in order to control the mind, purify our mind, purify our Chittam, and engage it in service of Krishna. For that much degree of transcendental knowledge, plain knowledge is given in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we understand. And that's enough. We do not want to go into the finite workings of the mind by which, like Vidyadharas, they come and they want to fly in the ocean. I also want to fly. Sometimes we also as humans, in the dream, especially when you are kids and all, you feel you're flying, you're running and then flying. Where it is coming from? Previous life. We have one, Abrahma Bonaloko Punaravartana Arjuna. We have been in Siddhaloka. We have been in lowest planet to highest planet. We have been different kinds of bodies we have got. So that vasana is there. It is there in our system. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, is there any relation between free will and being ego?
Free will and?
Being ego, like this ego
being.
is... Yeah, you explained that being ego.
See, being is a faculty of the soul. Free will exercises egoing as per your free will. Just like you say, your free will can act on your thinking. Should I think or not? This one can act. I can choose to think nonsense or to think about Prabhupada and Krishna. Free will you apply, right? Go one step up. Thinking, feeling, willing, go on, step up. Similarly, desiring also, sometimes you can experience, no? I will desire this or I won't desire this. So if free will is operating on desiring, free will is operating on thinking, free will can operate on all these things. At the highest level where the free will can operate is in being. So if you catch your free will at that point, apply there, most of the times we don't apply there. We apply only in, oh, I should not desire this. When you say, I should not desire this, but your ego-ing, that means the ego that you have formed who makes the desire is still alive there. Just like you want to stop smoking, you try to stop smoking. You try to stop the desire for smoking, this thing, everything, but again you fail. Why? What was the first creation? Desire or? The smoker. The smoker ego was the first fellow. Your smoking began with being a smoker. Somebody told, oh, very nice, your social prestige. You didn't even taste or anything. Oh, hey, your friend will say, hey, you don't know smoking. Hey, you're not done. No. I smoke, my father's cigarette, I smoke. No. So by association, you adopt egoing. Why is he? The hero in the movie is smoking. And I love that hero. So I love his smoking also. Unguarded, we are all kids. And gets into us, into our system. Smoking is nice. Smoking is success. Smoking is this, smoking is that, smoking is social prestige. Very often when we are kids, we are thinking, when I will become adult? Right? When I will become adult? So generally what most of the adults do, if you do it, you feel, I am becoming adult. My father smokes, now I have started, I will smoke. Go into the science of it. So what is it that you are creating? You are creating a false ego in you. Multiple false egos are created in our system, our chittam. The common thing about those false egos is that I am independent enjoyer. Krishna is not in the picture at all. Like that, thousands of fellows are sitting inside us. So unless, for some reason, very deep reason, the person says, I don't, there are cases where people 50, 60 years after, at the age of 60, after 20, 30 years of smoking, in one day they have stopped. When they get a scare of their life, such a heart attack, everything, it came to such a level. Fear. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to be a smoker. वो बी आ गया उधर, डर गया. Immediately habit lost. You have created in your mind a persona of fear of being a smoker. So we also have to create a fear of Maya, being a karmi, being a fruity worker, being a sense enjoyer, being, should develop that disgust. This all happens. When When you read Prabhupada's books, all these things, slowly it is happening. Just like I told in real life, how a hero in the cinema, and then you adopt, oh, this is good, that is bad. Carelessly it has entered your system and created false egos. Now you go on reading Prabhupada's book, real egos will be created. Servant egos. I am servant of Vaishnavas, I am servant of this situation in service of Krishna, I am servant of this, I am servant of that. Everything, all role play you will do as a servant. I am a servant businessman, I am a servant housewife, I am a servant doctor, I am a servant. Servant mood. Servant mood, yajnartha karpana. Servant of Vishnu for every act that I am doing. Okay?
Thank you.
So desire should be killed with the desirer. But only if you know, if you observe that desirer, then only you can fear him.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you are telling that every process in this material world is happening on the plane of yantra. The soul is just on the basis of awakening, is just deciding. So he's acting as just Anumanta. He's acting as Anumanta just. So like the soul.
Super soul is Anumanta.
No, the soul when he's thinking, feeling, willing, doing, egoing and rasaying. So he's not enjoying.
Soul.
Yeah.
I told you, rasaying is same, whether in the movie screen or real life. Rasaying is, he's enjoying. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that in all activities, the enjoyer and sufferer is the soul. And he tells Arjuna, understand that all activities are carried out by Prakriti, material nature. Activities means what? Processes. All processes are happening in the Prakriti. The enjoyer of that, the reading of that is the spirit soul. Because even in a dream, you can suffer, you can enjoy. It may be dream. Till you wake up, you are suffering. But when you are in this dream, you are suffering. When you wake up, your suffering is gone. So, that in the Bhagavad Gita, that verse number I do not know, you read in the 13th chapter, the cause of enjoyment and suffering is the soul. The cause of all the activities is Prakriti. Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.